I get this question all the time, how I got into the NICU straight out of nursing school. For those of you that don't know, NICU stands for Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. It is a bedside position. I work 3 days a week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Upon graduating, I knew I wanted to be in the NICU because honestly, all of the NICU nurses seemed the happiest compared to other nurses, and I love babies, so I figured it was a perfect fit. I will always and forever recommend this job to any new nurse and rave about how amazing it is to be a NICU nurse. So step number one, getting into this little convo. When you're in nursing school, make it a priority to get some sort of NICU experience, whether it's just on your little clinical days or in your final preceptorship. When I was going through my interviewing and hiring process at the job I'm at now, that was something the nurse manager really looked at, was had I been exposed to the NICU before? Because the truth is, a lot of people think the NICU is just cuddling babies all day, and that is not always the case. It is usually not the case. We have oscillators, we have drips, we have intubated babies, we have trachs, we have a ton of different complicated concepts and things that you're going to be exposed to when you're working in the NICU, and this can scare a lot of new hires away if they're not prepared for that. So I don't think that these managers are really looking for RN experience working on the NICU, but they just want to know that you've seen, what a typical NICU baby situation is like. I only got like 2 days worth of experience in the NICU during nursing school. That's just how it ends up being sometimes. But it doesn't matter. You don't need to put specifically that on your resume. Put that you got NICU experience and what you did on the NICU, what you helped the nurse with, what medications you helped administer, things you saw, things you learned, just put it all. Then once you graduate nursing school, you're gonna wanna apply to as many NICUs as you possibly can. There aren't as many NICUs as other standard adult floors, and the NICU is a competitive floor, so you might have to consider moving. You might have to consider doing a far commute. I was willing to do either of these options if need be. And honestly, the way I look at it is I would rather have to drive farther to a place I'm going to be genuinely happy at every single day that I go versus having a shorter drive only to be waiting to go home and possibly miserable for a whole 12 hours. Next topic, interviews. This is a huge topic that I'm gonna have to get into in another video, but specifically for NICU purposes, some of the questions I remembered being asked besides why do you see yourself as a good fit for the NICU is what care looks like to you, what it means to you, and how you would take your meaning of care and apply it to your job, as a NICU nurse or as, working with pediatrics, working with babies, and also how you would handle or go about communicating with a parent who is stressed, who is emotional, their baby's in the hospital. They want to know that you're going to be able to therapeutically communicate with the parents as well. In terms of certifications, you will need your NRP, which is CPR for neonates. It stands for neonatal resuscitation. You will need that certification to start working on the unit. So I would say just get it so that you can have it on your resume so that you are a strong interview and you're a strong candidate. Another certification that can set you apart from the rest is your stable certification. This is not a necessity to start working on the NICU, but most NICU nurses obtain their stable certification at a point anyways. So this is something that I began working on, and I actually just put on my resume, currently obtaining stable certification, and then I put stable certification number pending. I think it costed about $250, but it is something that can help you if you are really, really serious about getting into the NICU. But like I said, it's not needed. These are not all my tips. Go to my page for part 2.